Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. Today, I wanted to talk about a deck that I really love, and it really does embody one of my favorite parts of Genesis, which is taking decks that are pretty much unplayable right now in TCG, or that even have come out in TCG and have been unplayable, and being able to integrate them into this format to some kind of playable way because of how diverse this format is. So, the deck that we are going to be talking about today, that I had to put a lot of more time into than I like to admit, is Snake Eye. Now, you're probably thinking, Jared, Snake Eye is that was like a link deck. That was like the best deck in TCG, and it was like heavily link reliant. It took me forever to figure out a Snake Eye Ash combo that actually like does something. Like it's the best way I can describe it. That it actually does something. But it was really fun, and I'm really happy that I'm actually able to make this work. Now, the thing I want to come out straight out and say, do I think this deck is going to be like best in the meta, competitive, or anything like that? No, absolutely not. This is a labor of love for myself. Of I wanted to normal summon Snake Eye Ash again, so I am able to do it. So yeah, I want to make that very clear. But I will say, making a deck that you love from the game, that you really want to see the light of day again, Genesis has been a really fun way to do that. So I think I implore you to do it for yourself for the decks that you love as well. But this is just my labor of love for this. So I'm going to go over the deck, and then I have a combo at the very end just to show kind of what this deck is aiming to do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it, and please subscribe if you enjoy. Okay, so here is the deck list, guys. So as you can see, this is a very weird list compared to normal Snake Eye, right? We have a lot of hits that are not in here. Things like Bonfire and One for One cost a lot of points, so they are not in this deck. So you have to make up for consistency with other ways. Obviously, you want to try to get the Snake Eye Ash, but the other ways we have to get to it are between Small World and Where Art Thou. Both those cards help a lot to get the Snake Eye Ash. Small World especially because the points are actually pretty low for the core Snake Eye cards. You're able to play hand traps that go very well with Small World and complement it to be able to get to Ash. Things like level 1 Droll, Fire Ash Blossom, level 1 Veiler, things of that nature. So all of those really help to get back into the Snake Eye cards through Small World. The bridges are very nice. But for the rest of the Snake Eye package, we have the one Snake Eye Diabellstar, the one Flameberg's Dragon, 2 copies of Oak, 2 Poplar, 3 copies of Magician Souls, 2 copies of Illusion of Chaos, 1 DD Crow, because technically if you play Recital starting, it is searchable. I do not have it in this build, but it is something to keep note of. You can play it. 1 of each copy of Full Armored XYZ and Armored XYZ, 2 copies of Dramatic Snake Eyes Chase, 2 copies of Temple of the Snake Eye, 1 Ghost Trick Shot, 1 7th Tachyon, 1 Diabellstar Vengeance. This is so weird to see and not White Forest, but I have it in here. 3 copies of Droll and Lockboard. Unfortunately, I really want this card to be so many more points. I hate this card. I never want to see it. I've been drolled so many times. Please get rid of this card. 2 copies of Veiler, 3 copies of Nib, 2 copies of Ash Blossom. For the side deck, 3 Cosmic, 3 Vitos, 3 Gamma Seal, 3 Flame, 1 of the Snake Eye Trap, 1 of the Subversion of the Snake Eye, and then a second DD Crow for an extra hand trap. For the extra deck, 2 copies of Doom Dragon, 1 copy of Vengeance Dragon, 1 Tamer of the White Forest, 1 of the Poplar of the White Forest, 1 Centurion Legatia, 1 Chorzo, 1 Dullahan, 1 Angel of Mischief, 1 XYZ Armor Fortress, 1 copy of Full Armored Dark City Lancer, 1 copy of Ensemble Blue Robin, 1 copy of Divine Golden Shadow Dragon Dragoulion, 1 107, and 1 copy of number 46. This extra deck is a mess. If I showed you this, you would have no idea what deck this is if you weren't looking at the main deck. It is ridiculous of what the conclusion that I came to for this deck. It is wild. So, yeah, overall, this deck is really fun. Actually, it's so weird because the format, a lot of the time, is actually slow enough to where cards start resolving more than once. And when I say that, cards like Divine Temple of the Snake Eye, usually in Snake Eye format, this card did not resolve a lot of the time. Like maybe you got like one special off of it in an average game because someone just comboed and you were punishing a Nibiru or something. In this format, you could totally just activate this, have a Droll in hand, and probably live and be able to get back to you to combo again. So I think it's really cool that you can do stuff like that. Also being able to play Dramatic Chase to go for either the Vengeance or the Snake Eye Diabellstar comes up a lot. This card is a powerhouse of a card, ridiculous. And the fact that you can make it live in this deck as well to be able to summon out the White Forest Poplar, or the Wolf Tamer for White Forest as like a Book of Eclipse, and then you could use the Poplar to synchro into Legatia with either your Flameberg's Dragon, your Diabellstar, or the Vengeance. All really, really cool. And then we have the Armored XYZ package. This is so cool to me that I actually am kind of proud of myself for this because I did not realize this until I made this deck. So, cool thing. Obviously, the Armored XYZ is primarily played with rank 3s. That seems to be the trending thing to do right now. Rank 3s, Radiant Typhoons, etc., etc., Goblins, stuff like that. My build, you can actually make a rank 1. You can use Dullahan. 2 level 1s make this, and then you can overlay it for Angel of Mischief. When you do this, you can use the effect to be able to search Ghost Trick Shot. So after you search your Ghost Trick Shot, you are able to overlay on top of that for XYZ Armor Fortress. A lot of people forget you can use a rank 3 or a rank 4 Exceed monster you control. So you slap that on top, you use its effect to add both full armored XYZ and armored XYZ. Why is that important? Well, Armored XYZ gives you a face-up card. It doesn't have to be an Exceed you target. It just has to equip an Exceed to a monster to be able to send off Ash or Oak as an additional card. What also this does is this forces you in Engine to get a spell and trap to be banished for Diabellstar Vengeance, which is something that a lot of decks struggle to do. You don't have to play the Fia Diabell or the trap card, Curse of Diabell, I think it is. You don't need any of that. You can just use these cards to be able to do it. You'll see it in the combo. It's a part of it. Yeah, and then obviously, if you're out of materials, you will not always be out of materials. I have this in here as an option to be able to summon it. The combo does not use it, but you can play this if you want to, maybe in a going second scenario where you're able to use this effect, add this back, perhaps something like that. But yeah, and then this is also part of the combo. You need to use this to be able to search 7th Tachyon, and then 7th Tachyon, reveal 107 to search Flameberg's Dragon. That is how we're getting Flameberg's Dragon, by the way. We are not doing this through an Ash or an Oak. You need additional ways to get to these cards. So you have to Poplar for Chase to get the Snake Eye Diabellstar, or the Diabellstar Vengeance. Then you are going Ash for Oak, Oak for Snake Eye Diabellstar. It is so weird, I promise you, but the combo is actually really cool. So yeah, that pretty much explains all of the weird stuff. Oh, and Chorzo, of course, is being your tuner, being able to send a spellcaster. Snake Eye Diabellstar is your spellcaster. So yeah, that's all the stuff that I wanted to go over for the actual deck itself. If you have any questions, leave them down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and go into the combo because I think it's really, really interesting. Okay, so as promised, this is going to be just a Snake Eye Ash combo. So I'm going to freehand this, by the way, so if I mess up, please forgive me a little bit. Snake Eye Ash effect is going to search our Poplar, and then we're going to trigger our Poplar's effect to special summon itself, and then use the effect on field to search Dramatic Chase. Obviously, if you draw the field spell, you could search this. If you draw the Dramatic Chase, you could search the field spell. It doesn't matter. You don't need the field spell. It's just more of a bonus, and it's really still a really good card. But yeah. So we're going to get Dramatic Chase, activate our Dramatic Chase to be able to get our Diabellstar Vengeance out of the deck. This is the only way to get it out of our deck to bridge it from the Snake Eye cards themselves. So it's nice that you're able to do it. Next, you are able to use Snake Eye Ash to send itself plus the Vengeance to be able to summon Snake Eye Oak. Then you can use Oak's effect to bring back the Snake Eye Ash. Now, you're probably thinking this is where you would start linking and send stuff away to get some value, go for Flameberg's Dragon. But remember, this combo also does not use Flameberg's special 2 effect. I know it's very weird, but you actually just don't. It's really hard to send to the graveyard without link summoning. So you're actually going to overlay into our Dullahan. And now that we have Dullahan on the field, we are going to go straight into our Angel of Mischief. So from here, we're going to use Mischief's effect. You can detach pretty much anything here. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to detach to Dullahan to be able to search our Armored XYZ. Oh, sorry, what am I doing? Not Armored XYZ. I have to get, what's it called? The Ghost Trick Shot. Armored XYZ is the next card we're going to get because we're going to slap our XYZ Armor Fortress on top of this and use the effect. And then we can detach the Ash and the Angel of Mischief to be able to grab our Armored XYZ and Full Armor XYZ. Now, you're probably noticing that I'm keeping a certain card under this Angel of Mischief, or under the XYZ Armor Fortress, the Poplar. Poplar triggers when it's sent to the graveyard in any way. It doesn't matter where it's being sent from. You can mill it off top of your deck and it would still trigger. So I am saving this Poplar effect. I know it's very weird how I'm doing this. This Poplar cannot be used yet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to activate Ghost Trick Shot to bring back our Dullahan. Now, you can use the shot of second effect to do whatever, but you don't need to do that, the graveyard effect. But what we're going to do is we are going to use our Oak to send away itself and the Dullahan so that we are able to special summon out our Snake Eye Diabellstar. We need him on the field because he is our spellcaster. We can use Dullahan's effect in graveyard to add back the shot. This is good for you have like a card later. I think that you need to put this back into your deck. So yeah, it's nice that this is actually here for the future of the combo. Now that we're at this point, we are going to send these both away. We are going to summon out our Chorzo because we have a spellcaster and a Exceed, Fusion, or Synchro on the field. So we can send them to the graveyard and special summon Chorzo. Usually you have one of these in the back row to get value, but believe me, in this combo, you are not trying to do that. Now that Poplar has finally gone to the graveyard, we can use the effect to put Snake Eye Diabellstar in the back row. Now we can use the Snake Eye Diabellstar to push itself up, and then we can put realistically any of these into the back row. It doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, now we are here. Now from here, what we can do is we're going to synchro the Snake Eye Diabellstar with the Chorzo. So we're gonna do these two and go into our Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. Now, very interestingly enough, this card has an effect of during the main phase, you can target a face-up monster on field or either graveyard, place it in the spell or trap zone. Also, you can't use this effect the next turn. The neat thing about this card is if this card itself goes to the spell and trap zone, you are actually able to, what's it called? You're actually able to reuse it if it's resummoned. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But so now that this is summoned, we're going to actually use its effect to put the Snake Eye Diabellstar back in the back row zone. Now that we're here, we could do Armored XYZ to put any of these cards really to equip it to the Vengeance Dragon. And then we can send away our Poplar and our Exceed that we equipped to summon out our Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. Now, this probably looks weird of like, what are we going for? We're actually going to use Doom Dragon's effect here to push back the Vengeance Dragon. So now it's in the spell or trap zone. It's going to reset the effect that's back there. Now, we need to keep going. We need more extension. So we are going to activate our Diabellstar Vengeance in the graveyard. So we are going to special summon it out by banishing the Armored XYZ and one of our spells in graveyard. So we can banish our Armored XYZ. And now we can overlay these two to go into our Dragooblion. Dragooxion, whatever his name is. On summon, we are going to add a Galaxy or Tachyon card. So this is going to be where our one copy of, what's it called? 7 Tachyon comes in. Now, from here, we are going to be locked into Exceed monsters. But again, we're completely fine. This deck only summons one Exceed monster anyway, or one Synchro when we get it out earlier. So we are going to do 7 Tachyon, reveal our 107, add the same type. So we are going to grab our Snake Eyes Flamberg's Dragon. Now we are going to use Divine Dragon's effect, detach these two to be able to slap over Dragooxion. I know, this is a crazy throwback. For those of you who don't know, once per turn, if you control no other monsters, as you can see, we have no other monsters now, you can detach one Exceed material from this card, activate one of these effects. The one we are going to be using is Special Summon a Dragon-type monster from our hand. So we are going to use his ability, detach, and we are going to Special Summon out the Flamberg's Dragon from our hand. Now from here, we are going to use the Flamberg's effect to put our Diabellstar Vengeance back in the spell or trap zone. For the 7 Tachyon, we also put back the Ghost Trick Shot, by the way. So we don't actually lose a different card. Our hand still has 4 cards in hand after this. So from here, we are now just going to go to end phase. Then we can activate our Dramatic Snake Eyes Chase, banish this to be able to special summon one of these to the field. It really does not matter which one you do. I'm just going to do Vengeance Dragon. And like I said, because Vengeance Dragon moved from the monster zone to the spell or trap zone back to a monster zone, this is now a new copy of Vengeance Dragon, and you can use its effect to push something back in the back row again on your opponent's turn. So now also during your opponent's turn, you can use the Flamberg's Dragon effect to push up the Snake Eye, the Diabellstar Vengeance, which is a quick effect. You can pay half your life points, target a card your opponent controls, destroy it. Then if you have another Diabellstar monster card on the field, you can special a Tuner Synchro monster. Do we have another Diabellstar? Oh, we do. We set it up already. We have Snake Eye Diabellstar in the back row. And because it says monster card, that still counts if it's in the back row. So we're able to use this effect to destroy a card your opponent controls to summon our Poplar of the White Forest. Next, on our opponent's turn, still, we can quick effect Synchro and Synchro off the White Forest. And you could do either or. Vengeance or the Flameberg's Dragon. If you do Flameberg's, you don't get the effect because you have too many monsters on the field, unfortunately. So you could just do the Diabell Star Vengeance to be able to summon Centurion Legatia and then use Legatia's effect as an additional pop as well. So a lot of cool interruptions, a lot of ways to actually play this. Very different. Like I said, I've never seen somebody do what I've been doing with this deck. And then on the crackback, obviously you can push up the Snake Eye Diabell Star, put one of these cards back, and just start use the what's it called, Flameberg's Dragon battle phase. Use this effect to pop, and you have like a lot of pressure coming at your opponent. Obviously, this is 3,000. Like these guys are huge as well, so you'll be able to close out the game very quickly. So that is the Snake Eye Ash combo that I wanted to show you guys. Like I said, it's so weird, it's so different, but it's so cool to me. I thought this was so cool that something to be figured out, and I hope you guys think it's cool too. It's again, this was absolutely a labor of love, and there is stuff to take away from here. The biggest thing I think that like for the format as a whole should be taken away is that now rank 1s and rank 2s can go into the armor exceed cards. I think that is the biggest takeaway from this combo. And if you wanted to make the Lancer, you could also use Dullahan's effect on himself, something else that you can do. Because quick effect, you can detach and then target a face-up monster on the field, have its attack. So remember how like we kept that Snake Eyes Poplar under it? You can, if you wanted to make the Lancer, you can actually detach that extra card and have its own attack, and then put the Exceed Armor Fortress to search to. Then you could put Lancer on top of that, and then that'll give you, let you, because you can't use him as a material if you have an Exceed material on him. So yeah, you have to get that material off, and that's just a way to do it. And then Ghost Trick So Cute Boss is the other Ghost Trick monster you can use to be able to do this as well. So I think it's pretty cool that you can do this. You really take advantage of feeling of everything, which is neat. And yeah, overall, hope you guys enjoy. And if you did, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me know what you think down below of it. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.